So I'm just leaving Universal on their horror night. It's October 27th, 2016. This is my 4th night at a different horror place. 3 were Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay, and this one's my first time in Orlando. So what I have noticed is the different styles of people go through the haunted houses with. So if you imagine there's like curtains you have to pull back, a lot of plastic stuff, a lot of dark corners, a lot of people jumping out at you. So here are the styles of people that I have noticed. The first one is like the stoic, the guy usually who doesn't jump, doesn't move anything. So stuff's coming at it, Freddy with his knife, and the guy's like this. Gonna keep walking, never, doesn't even flinch, no nothing. To the point where even when that person, who may or may not be my husband, goes through the wrong doorway and a chainsaw is buzzing across the doorway, he's like, no, I'm going through, you're not getting in my way, but nonetheless, you're going the wrong way. So the stoic, I'm gonna call that, like a bear. Don't go with the animals, like a bear. Then you've got people like me who are like a little bit hunched, and I'm looking around and I pull the curtain back really quickly and then I scuttle really quickly because I've seen you, but you might still scare me because you might jump out again with your cadence. And so I'm a little bit more like a squirrel. I'm a little bit furtive, a little bit eyes left, eyes right, what's going on. Then you have what I would call the bait, which is usually the 16-year-old girl who is already jumpy before she goes in, and she opens the curtain just like this. And the minute something goes near, she's like, So I think that's a little bit more like the rabbit, and they're the most fun to have in front of you because they get caught by everything and everyone and they shriek. It's hilarious. And then that gives you a chance to escape through while they're not there. Then you have the more male of the species. So I saw 3 guys in front of me, relatively young, who are like this. This is the doorway like this. And then they got shorter and shorter and shorter as they went through stuff. And they start, people like that start at a steady pace, and they kind of stop and stop breathing, and it'll freeze. And then you get shuffled along by the helper people inside the haunted houses. So then they start to like shuffle really quickly. There's a lot of shuffling, like low shuffling and high shuffling, but shuffling because they just want to get out of the house as quickly as possible, and you're just hoping there's nothing else around that final corner. So those are the types that I have generally noticed in the houses. I definitely prefer the 16-year-old girl bait in front of me just because of how funny it is. Oh, and I did notice there was a woman behind me who was doing a bit of curtain pulling and then jumping to the side. So she would pull the curtain back, and then she would jump to the side. The trouble is that there's always like a focal point. So say this is the person jumping out at you. Now you think that's the only person scaring you, but actually there's somebody right there, right there. So if you do that, that person's gonna be right in your face, and they are. And if there are strobe lights, oh my God, if they have strobe lights, all you see is this, boom, 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 boom. Fantastic. Another great night at Horror Park. They are not inexpensive, but I will say, hours of entertainment. We got to 6 houses, we did 2 or 3 rides. We sat down, had some pizza, a lot of fun people. I found a favorite young lady to help me with directions so I didn't have to work everything out. There's apps to tell you how long the wait times are. But really, it's just a really fun night in Orlando, and that's actually City Walk behind me, which is accessible without a park ticket, and you just go have beers and food, and a lot of people having beers out here tonight. And if somebody says to me, oh, you know, there's poor students and all that student loan debt. Well, listen, I understand they're getting an expensive education. However, the fast pass at Universal that they paid for is not a reason to forgive their student loan debt. Just saying. Anyway, on that note, I will say goodnight. Gonna drive an hour home and then work for me tomorrow. Great night. So much fun.